15. Okay, cool. So now we're live on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the sleep hypnosis and some of the methodology that went into creating it. So people can understand, like, what is in a hypnotic script? What is a hypnotic induction? What does that accomplish? So yeah, but before we do that, we're going to do our simultaneous squeeze, which is a very simple process to activate your vagus nerve. You're going to do a sharp inhale, one big inhale with a short extra sip of air all through the mouth. And then we're going to hold that for 5 seconds, and then we're going to squeeze it, and then you're going to do a slow, sustained exhale for 5 seconds. Ready? So in 3, 2, 1, breathe in. Sip of air. Hold and squeeze. And slowly exhale. There we go. Good. Okay, so love that feeling. Ooh. Okay, so in terms of this, let me get the timestamp here. So we got 6 minute 30. Boop. Yeah. Okay. So today we're going to talk about basically the breakdown of the hypnotic induction script. I put a transcript of it in the links here. It's got a great, basically it's fantastic reading. You have to go check it out. I did some good work in here. Basically what the document refers to is the underlying principles that we use for the hypnotic script. And you can go to the very bottom of the document and actually read through it if you want to. So you can really see what's said if you don't want to listen to it. But honestly, it's really just standard hypnosis. And I wanted to just talk about a little bit about, what is hypnosis and all that stuff, because I think it's an interesting question. How does it work on the vagus nerve? So there's some incredible history to what hypnosis refers to. It goes back many centuries, many thousands of centuries, actually. So ancient civilizations such as Egyptians and Greeks practiced various forms of hypnosis-like techniques to induce altered states of consciousness. However, it was not until the late 18th century that hypnosis began to be recognized as a distinct field of study. Franz Mesmer, who created the mesmerism term, as an Austrian physician, played a significant role in popularizing hypnosis and its therapeutic potential. I think it was around earlier than that, technically. But anyway, around the time in that. Yeah. He was around in the late 18th century. So that's pretty interesting history-wise. Then naturally I get questions about, is hypnosis, is it pagan? Is it occult? There's nothing occult or weird about hypnosis. It's safe and used actually in medical practice today. So I think it's important to dispel the notion that hypnosis is something like paganism or occult. I would never want to put something occult-like in anything that I create. I'm very against that. Hypnosis is actually at this point a scientifically grounded practice that focuses on harnessing the power of suggestion and the mind-body connection. It's perfect for stimulating the vagus nerve. It's incredible technology. It does not involve any supernatural or mystical elements. Instead, it relies on inducing a state of deep relaxation and a heightened focus to help you tap into your subconscious mind. That is hypnosis from a very straightforward perspective. So in terms of what we're trying to access through this hypnotic induction is we're trying to get the parasympathetic system to activate through a process of autosuggestion, through relaxation, through music, through stimulating the vagus nerve in the ear, which, by the way, have you guys tried out the speaker yet? The pillow speaker. It is fantastic. That first song that plays on there, you just put it under your pillow, and you literally just like lay your head down to touch the ear, and you can feel it softly vibrating your ear, the concha. It physically and very softly stimulates in the ear. I mean, this is incredible stuff. This is really remarkable technology. This is probably the first, because literally for years, I've had people ask like, can you vibrate the ear to stimulate it? And I've always thought like, well, could you get like a little vibrating handheld tool and put it up against your ear? And like, technically, yeah. And there is a device called the Z Vibe brush, which is used to stimulate the vagus nerve in the ear, but also in the mouth. But all that does is just vibrate at a certain tune, like it's like a vibrator, basically. It's like a little, putting a Sonicare toothbrush in your ear can technically vibrate your vagus nerve, but it doesn't mean that it's optimal. Music is actually more optimal. And with this pillow speaker placed here under the pillow, which vibrates through the pillow, I think you have to be using a pillow. You have to have a pillow to be on this. But it's really amazing. And so what it does is it activates the parasympathetic system. And the parasympathetic system is one of two branches of your autonomic nervous system. We all know we have the sympathetic fight or flight response. Sympathetic is typically your fight or flight, fearful, anxiety-inducing state. You can't go to sleep if you're in a sympathetic state. A lot of people are, they're having their doctors, for good reason, say to them, I think your symptoms are because you're in sympathetic overdrive. You're stuck in a fight or flight response. And so you have to find ways to kind of, in a way, to pull yourself out of a sympathetic response. That is really, really crucial. And you do that by, again, it's like arguing with a crazy person. You're never going to win the argument. You're never going to struggle your way out of anxiety. You have to activate the parallel system, which is your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your vagus nerve. So if you can find a way to just say, okay, anxiety, pat it on the head and kind of go like, okay, hey, vagus, how are you doing today? Give it some attention, give it some love. And you'll find that the anxiety just kind of goes, okay, well, I know my place now and I won't bother you so much anymore. That's what the anxiety response deserves, that type of treatment. So yeah, when the vagus nerve is activated, it promotes a sense of calmness. It reduces stress and it enhances your overall well-being. It makes you be able to digest food and to sleep and relax and socialize. It's really important. And hypnosis does act as a catalyst for stimulating the parasympathetic system. It helps us achieve a state of deep relaxation and tranquility. It's fantastic. Hypnosis is great. Now, as a bonus, which is on the audio, is a specific, and I would call this a pretty advanced feature of the hypnotic audio, which is that it's not just hypnosis for the sake of hypnosis. It's hypnosis with something called a mnemonic device. And now all mnemonic means is a cognitive tool that you utilize to enhance your ability to process memory. So everybody's used a mnemonic device. Let's see. Everybody knows Roy G. Biv. Okay? So type in the chat, yes or no. Did you ever learn Roy G. Biv? Maybe I'll spell it like this. Roy G. Biv. Biv, just like that, okay? Did you ever learn Roy G. Biv? If you haven't, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Who's Roy G. Biv? Who's Mr. Biv? Professor Biv. No, it's a mnemonic device that helps you remember the colors, the main primary colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, like the colors behind me, basically. So Roy G. Biv is a simple mnemonic device that helps you remember primary colors. So in the hypnotic audio, there is an equally powerful 10-point mnemonic device that we utilize that's explained in the document. If you want to know more about the technique, it's listed in the document. Check the pinned comment. Maybe I'll pin that now just so that's there. Yeah. Cool. So I pinned the comment so that it's at the top so you can always see that. That document contains, if you scroll down to like page 4, page 5, will list out the specific mnemonic memory points that are crucial for getting the most out of the hypnotic audio. And it's a little extra, but trust me, it's worthwhile to do this because the purpose of sleep is to process memory. That's the main purpose for your sleep. So if the day is this jumbled mess of things and weird coincidences that happened, and you go to sleep in that state of disorganization of memory, then it's going to affect your sleep in a negative way. So what we want to do is organize how the day went according to a mnemonic device, which is a 10-point process. The 10 points are, so as we would say, Roy G. Biv, right? We would also say in position number 1, we want to see the letter T representing a tie, which also a tie that you wear would also represent, looks like the number 1, right? So in position number 1, you see a big blue silk tie. You're going to associate that with what did you do first thing in the morning when you woke up? And you're going to see yourself getting out of your bed, your particular bed that you got out of that morning. You're going to see yourself slipping on a tie, cinching it up, but the tie is going to be really big and goes down all the way to the floor. It's a big floppy blue silk tie. Now, creating that association, you're going to start creating organization of your memory for the day so that when you're going to sleep, you can effectively process it. Because when you don't process memory, that's when you get the manifestations of trauma in your life. You typically see people who sleep very poorly, they're disorganized. Those are the people who are the most traumatized. So anybody can sleep or not sleep their way into a traumatic response. Look at what sleep deprivation does to people. Sleep deprivation, lack of proper sleep and relaxation, will literally drive someone to insanity. I saw a video this other week. There was a man who was abusing Ambien and Adderall, and he couldn't find the right combination. This is a police video from Florida. There's probably a man in his late 20s had been abusing Ambien and Adderall back and forth, and something snapped in his brain. And he went to apparently he tried to kidnap a kid at a kindergarten or something like this. And when they asked him, when was the last time you slept? He's like, oh, I haven't slept for 3 days straight. So the guy looked demonically possessed, literally like he was not himself. And that's what can happen if you don't sleep properly. So I think that there's a tangible one-to-one connection between people who behave in a traumatized way and lack of proper memory processing, because things just get so jumbled up, you can't make left or right sense of anything. So the mnemonic device that we utilize is simply intended to create an organization and a specific peg system of 10 points to help you pre-process your memory of the day so that when you go to sleep officially, then your memory can go, your subconscious processing can go to work, can make patterns, can create associations, can learn meanings, etc. from what the day was, right? Good, bad, in between, doesn't matter. As long as you have a system that makes you more flexible, the better off you're going to be. And getting good sleep with the particular emphasis on using sleep as a vehicle to process memory is a very, very smart idea. And that is probably the core intention of this hypnotic induction. Not to just tell you a story about Little Red Riding Hood going through the forest and coming upon a big castle, and then she falls in love with the monster, the beast, and there's all this flowery hypnosis that you find on YouTube is basically just intended to, again, lull you into sleep. But we can accomplish more than just telling you a story. Really, the best form of hypnosis is where you create your own story. But generally speaking, most hypnotic inductions don't give room for you to interpret it in your own way. This particular sleep hypnosis gives you the control on what you use to hypnotize yourself. They're basically by utilizing the mnemonic process. So the other like huge added benefit to the way that the hypnotic induction is laid out, the way that it's detailed, is that it sort of will have a corollary effect in your day-to-day life, which means a much better memory, a far more creative ability. Because again, there's something kind of fun and creative about creating these kind of wild associations between popping up out of bed and then putting on a big floppy silk blue tie and then getting up and walking to the bathroom. But instead of being in the bathroom, you actually walk onto Noah's Ark, which is number 2. The reason we chose number 2 for the second peg is because we all know the story of Noah's Ark, 2 of each animal. So there's 2 pairs of everything. So you can see yourself walking into the bathroom, maybe see 2 sinks, 2 mirrors, 2 versions of yourself as a twin. You can see 2 toothbrushes, brushing your teeth with double the amount of toothbrushes that you had. And again, you're placing yourself in your own house, in your own bathroom. I'm not describing the details of your bathroom. And I'm not even saying that the second thing you did in the day was going to your bathroom. Maybe the second thing you did was go get coffee or something like that. Although I think you should probably hit the bathroom, splash your face with some water, brush your teeth, freshen up a little bit, then go make your coffee. And that's a preferable option, but you create your own adventure with the way that the mnemonic audio progresses. And you certainly don't have to master this stuff. It's pretty self-explanatory once you start listening to it. So that's a huge benefit of it. Now let's quickly address the role of sleep and memory processing, just because I think it's as well as important. Sleep plays a vital role in memory consolidation and processing. During sleep, our brain actively processes and stores information gathered throughout the day. This is the process of taking stuff from your short-term memory and shifting it into your long-term memory. This is a very important process, like critical. And you strengthen neural connections, which enhances your memory performance even further. That's why when you lack sleep, your memory sucks. When you don't sleep properly the day before, your brain is like short-circuiting. So we need to get you to sleep and work on your memory as you sleep. This is where hypnosis audio, the particular one, can be very effective by promoting relaxation first through the music and then inducing a state of calmness. The hypnosis audio can facilitate better sleep quality, which combined with the mnemonic process can improve your memory retention and recall. It's a very awesome process that's laid out in there. And so that's all there. So yeah, again, if you haven't gotten the audio yet, if you haven't ordered the sleep hypnosis audio so far, then I highly recommend you write sleep in the chat and I'll send that to you. I've already sent it out to a load of people already, which is really cool. That makes me pretty happy to see people, again, just investing some time into better sleep. Because technically there's a device involved, but it's not like you're directly putting ear clips on. You're using hypnosis and music to stimulate your vagus nerve. It's arguably as low tech as you're going to get. And the other thing is, in conclusion, the main thing here is that while this isn't the only option to stimulate your vagus nerve in the whole world, certainly there's lots of devices and there's lots of tools you can go buy. And there are lesser activities like, do yoga or gargle or hum to music. Those things are obviously less effective than an implanted vagus nerve stimulator, for sure. Ultrasound is a far more effective way to stimulate and activate the vagus nerve than humming. There's no doubt about that. Just kind of like your particular use cases. But as far as cost goes, the base price of the small speaker audio is miles different than if I had packaged this up into a product, like a full, you buy it from our factory, we ship it to you. That likely would have cost somewhere in the realm of like $179 or something like that. That's the retail price of something like that. So again, around my birthday weekend, I went to pick blueberries with my partner, and they have pre-picked blueberries that you can buy for $3 a pound, or you can go pick your own blueberries for $1.50 a pound, right? So we chose the pick your own. They didn't actually have any pre-picked anyway. But we wanted to go there to actively pick with our hands blueberries. And so by doing it ourselves, in a way, kind of creating that, there was something more special. It felt like we had agency. There was something really magical about not just going to the store and eating the blueberries there. There was something really incredible about actually having filled a bucket up with blueberries and then taking them home and cleaning them and then eating them. And they were especially really, really good. So there is the agency question about just getting all these devices that are already pre-made for you, where you have no work to do at all, and they cost buttloads more than what they should. I think people should be able to do something like hypnosis and have good technology that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. These things shouldn't cost $300, $400, $500 if they don't need to. And the sleep hypnosis doesn't have to cost $300. Although, I'm sure there's a marketer out there who's just like, Sterling, let's hook up, man. I think we could sell this for a boatload. And while that's absolutely true, if I hired some marketing firm, I'm sure I could run Facebook ads and sell something like this, but I don't really care. So anyway, in conclusion, hypnosis is de facto a powerful tool that has been used for centuries to stimulate the parasympathetic system and promote a calm nervous system. It is essential to understand that hypnosis is not associated with paganism or the occult, but rather a scientifically grounded practice. Very important point. By incorporating mnemonic devices and aiding in memory processing, hypnosis can have a positive impact on our overall well-being. If you're interested in experiencing the benefits of hypnosis for better sleep, comment sleep below and we'll provide you with a link to our sleep audio and the document that goes along with it. So that's it. That's the synopsis here, guys. That's how it all works, right? These are the secrets of the universe. This is the secret to the best sleep of your life, right? Not a new pillow or anything like that. It's literally just being like, all right, we're going to go and hypnotize ourselves to sleep. The explainer doc here. Boom. Cool. All right. So thanks so much on YouTube. We'll wrap it up there and boom. And then